This is Antonblast, an explosive 2D action platformer from developer Summitsphere that's got undeniable style and a pretty serious anger issue. I'm not sure what footage my editor is going to place over my VO here, but I'm gonna take a shot in the dark and guess that there's probably a lot going on. That's kind of what Antonblast is. A chaotic, rageful rush through noisy dreamlands filled with vibrant poker chips, graffiti-inspired art, and Dynamite Anton, a red guy with a quote, mighty effin' hammer. There's even a button dedicated solely to screaming. It's kind of a lot, and I kinda love it. I was almost surprised to find I had a hard time putting Antonblast down once it really got going, and while it won't be for everyone, there is absolutely an audience that will think this 6 to 7 hour romp is, well, a blast. Antonblast's story plays out like an Adult Swim parody of an old school cartoon. Satan, or at least a caked up version of him, is out to get Anton because our hammer-wielding hero is redder than him. When Anton wakes up to realize his spirit collection has been stolen, he and his green co-worker Annie go on an unstoppable rampage to make someone pay. That means furiously bashing through destructible levels that all feel completely different from one another while finding collectibles that include creative skin palette swaps, jokey audio files, and more. Antonblast pulls inspiration from a laundry list of other popular IPs. Some are obvious. It's hard not to think of Crash Bandicoot while Anton spins away enemies to the tune of some catchy, upbeat music, and you'll often be blasted out of cannons that would surely make Donkey Kong proud. Its tone and humor, meanwhile, feels like it was ripped straight out of 90s Cartoon Network classics like Ed, Ed and Eddie or Cow and Chicken. However, it's Wario Land 4 that is the clearest motivating force for Antonblast, as the two share more than a few similar sound effects and gameplay mechanics. Wario's Hurry Up is Anton's happy hour, but somehow, despite leaning so heavily on what's come before, Antonblast rarely feels derivative. This crude, scarlet mascot carves out his own identity by relying on destruction and chaos. Losing yourself while laying waste to a Backrooms-inspired high school or a greenhouse filled with man-eating plants is absolutely part of the fun. Add in music that ranges from exhilarating to hauntingly unsettling, and you've got yourself a recipe for, if nothing else, something unforgettable. Your average Antonblast level sees Anton swinging his hammer at and around a variety of enemy types, but each location also comes with its own unique twists. One way the team keeps things fresh is the very Wario Land-y transformation abilities, which include jetpack segments, a rideable swordfish shark thing, and more. I don't want to spoil what I feel is a game worth seeing through to the end, but I will at least say that, outside of the first boss, Antonblast has a fantastic gallery of bosses. Each was completely different from the last and challenging without ever feeling frustrating. While there was never anything pushing my temper over the edge, Anton's unyielding rage sometimes leads to unwelcome results. There are occasionally moments when Anton feels too slippery for some of the more demanding platforming challenges. Imprecise movement can be bothersome when a screen is clear of clutter, so platforming might lean on the side of frustrating when things are really popping off. It doesn't help that Antonblast's relentless style can sometimes make it unclear if platforms are in the foreground or background, leading to moments when you're jumping at ledges that aren't actually there. I also think checkpoint placement could be a bit more generous in some of the more dangerous levels, though it sounds like Summitsphere is already working on fixing some of the areas that are giving players an especially hard time. It's true that the rough, pixelated aesthetic and bombastic approach can muddy the field here and there, but more often than not, it added far more to the experience than it detracted. If anything, part of the reason I wish the clutter could be turned down ever so slightly is so that the many visual gags and level details could shine through. Even with so many clear inspirations, I've never played anything quite like Antonblast. It's breakneck fun that you can finish in an afternoon or two, and you'll surely be able to squeeze out even more time if you track down some of the well-hidden collectibles, of which there are many. It's such an exceptional start for Anton and Annie that even when the screen is polluted with too many exploding crates and flying moles, I never stopped having a great time. Antonblast is out now on PC for $19.99. A Nintendo Switch version will launch December 13th, 2024.